if you want abs, do this. Just kidding. A lot of people ask if you can just do ab exercises to burn belly fat, but honestly, it has nothing to do with sit-ups, flutter kicks, crunches, anything else that you've done for ab exercises before. Now, I used to be that guy who would just do a bunch of ab exercises hoping I would get a six-pack as well, and it never worked. I could never actually lose my belly because I never actually fixed my diet. Remember, there are people who never ever train abs who are able to lose 20, 30, 40, or even 50 plus pounds and eventually get a six-pack. There are also people who train abs every single day and have a super strong core, yet never are able to lose the belly. And this is again because their diet isn't dialed in and they're not actually in a calorie deficit. I'm going to explain exactly how to get abs today, but first I want you to stop wasting time. So when you're doing ab exercises, there is some benefit, which is that you're building muscles in the local area. This is of course great for core strength, which is good as you get older and helps to prevent the risk of back injury, In Shaa Allah. That being said though, it doesn't actually directly burn the fat. What burns the fat is when you burn more calories than you consume, which is the definition of a calorie deficit. Now, there are a lot of mistakes that people make on a calorie deficit, and just because you're working out a lot and eating very little doesn't actually guarantee that you're in a calorie deficit if your sleep is off, if your metabolism is off, if your muscle mass is off, if your protein intake is off, and if your energy levels are poor. So if you're on a really strict diet and you're working out a ton and you're not actually losing weight, and you've already ruled out that it's not water weight and water retention that's causing you to retain the water, and you've been sufficiently patient, you're not just like, oh, I worked out really hard and the next day I didn't lose weight. Yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of water weight, but you've been doing this for weeks and months on end, not seeing any results. You're not actually in a calorie deficit, and we might need to fix your metabolism. But I've been through all of these same mistakes too. And 12 years ago when I did my first calorie deficit, I didn't understand how metabolism worked. I didn't get in enough protein, and I also didn't lift enough weights. In fact, I was cutting out all carbs and fasting all day long. And as a result, yes, I did lose weight and I did lose some fat, but I also lost just as much muscle as I lost fat. And that result was obviously pretty frustrating. Also, throughout the diet, I felt super miserable, irritable, food cravings, and I get mad if my family made certain foods that I couldn't eat because I was on a strict diet, and it was obviously impossible to stick to. Now, of course, I've made many other mistakes over the years, but I'll spare you all the details. And alhamdulillah, I was eventually able to figure this out. And since figuring this out, alhamdulillah, I've been able to help hundreds of other Muslims to lose weight, and dozens of them whose goal was to get abs to actually get abs as well. But if your goal is to just lose weight and keep it off long term, we can absolutely do that. And of course, if you want to get a six-pack, we could talk about that, but it requires a little bit more commitment and duration. Either way, regardless of what your specific goal is, whether you're new to fat loss or you've been failing for years on your own, whether you've successfully lost fat but you struggle to keep it off, these are three common scenarios that we see. And that's why we've put together the ultimate flexible yet still structured fitness coaching program that's completely tailored to everything that you need. And we work on more than just fitness, meal prep, training, exercise, all that stuff. We work on sleep quality, stress management, increasing our positive Islamic habits and our ibadah as well, and building an entire rhythm around a healthy Islamic lifestyle, because the whole point is to eat clean, get lean, be more on point with your deen, and elevate your deen using the modern Muslim man routine. So if you want to learn more, comment M3 below and we'll send you all the details on our coaching program, In Shaa Allah.